Congratulations to all Virginia Cavalier fans, to all those out there that have been living and dying with this school's basketball team, to finally get a national championship, to finally have a trophy like that in the case. Certainly after last year when Virginia became the first 1 seed to ever lose to a 16 seed. The Goliath and the David and Goliath story of UMBC against the Cavaliers. Brockman, you and I were having a little bit of fun with that when Gardner-Webb got into the NCAA tournament. We started looking at what Gardner-Webb is. Who is Gardner? Who is Webb? Why is it Gardner-Webb? Where are they from?
Totally.
And sure enough, Virginia in the opening game drawing Gardner-Webb and having trouble putting distance between it and Gardner-Webb. Then going from there and matriculating their way through a tournament bracket and dodging bullets. I mean, you want to talk about a team in Virginia that you could say had no luck at all. And you talk to a Virginia Cavalier fan, they'll tell you about what bad luck that they would have, that Ralph Sampson also ran into some stiff competition. If Ralph Sampson was in the sport today, he would run roughshod through it, and kind of was born at the wrong time with all the other Goliaths in college basketball at the time. And you know, obviously last year with the 16 seed, and between those points and then whatever karma was in their bank, they withdrew it all. I mean, they're down to 0 right now. With what happened against Purdue, that was a very tight game against Purdue. We all know against Auburn, with mere seconds to go, getting a foul called, and Kyle Guy going to the line and making all 3 free throws when it was very dark in that game. It somehow dawned upon Virginia that they got into the national championship game. And then last night, once again, with a multiple possession lead with 5 minutes to go. It didn't turn into the Auburn game per se, but Texas Tech roared right back, took the lead, and then this kid, DeAndre Hunter, makes a Stone's Onions 3 from the corner. A remarkable three-pointer from the corner to send this game in overtime. And even that, I thought for some way, some possible reason, some possible way, the karma bank had been overdrawn, and they pulled it back from Virginia. No one's talking about the final seconds of the game in regulation last night, where Texas Tech takes a shot, Virginia rebounds, and the ball gets thrown away because Guy was right in the field of vision. Was that Hunter who ripped the ball down? I think it was either him or Key, ripped the ball down and then flung it in the direction of Guy.
Who wasn't looking because he was trying to call timeout. And how many screen grabs I saw in between that moment and overtime that did in fact happen is Texas Tech somehow got the ball back with 1 second to go. I thought they were going to win the game right there. I thought we were going to see a Keith Smart moment, would be over. See ya. And Texas Tech would be cutting down nets. By the way, I did not know that the only other national champion to reside in the state of Texas in the men's basketball world is West Texas. Glory Road. Did you know that? I did not know that. 1966.
Yeah, that right? the Longhorns don't have one. A&M doesn't have one. That one kind of hit me last night when I heard that one from Nance.
Yeah, Texas Western. Wow.
Yeah, Texas Western was the only other one. Glory Road. So, at any rate, what did I say? West Texas. So, we're in overtime now, and Virginia makes much of their free throws. Matt Mooney starts making a 3, and I thought for a second this thing was toast. I thought Texas Tech was going to take it. And then instant replay
that way, man,
comes into the 4. How about this? I mean, it's 2019, so obviously instant replay is going to play a role. In the NFL, it was all about what happened in New Orleans, and now instant replay needed to be changed to fix it. And we're seeing right here on the screen the moment that Hunter knocked the ball out of Moretti's hand with Texas Tech coming down their end of the floor, coming off of a missed Virginia shot, down to 60-some-odd seconds to go. Okay? and the ball gets knocked out of Moretti's hands. It's ruled Texas Tech ball, but now we're stopping it to take a look at it because we're in overtime. Less than 2 minutes to go. You're allowed to replay stuff in the last 2 minutes of the half and in overtime, but not during regulation up until those points. And I am a huge replay advocate. If the call needs to be made right and replay can help make it right, then it should be made right. That's the way I always view instant replay. But one thing I don't like about replay is in a case where it is administered only because of how much time's left on the clock, not because of the way that a coach can call it or doesn't. Why should that play be reviewed in overtime and it's not to be reviewed throughout the rest of regulation? If that ball goes off of Moretti's pinky with 3 minutes to go in the second half, the ball belongs to Texas Tech. But because it happened here, we're looking at it like the Zapruder film. We're looking at it from the ninth angle. I'm not familiar completely with the replay rules of college basketball. Is there an amount of time that you need to make your decision in? Because you're giving an extra timeout to Texas Tech and Virginia to draw up a play while you look at this stuff. So it's really odd to me, again, that we're stopping the game to look at it in overtime, and every coach lives and dies with every possession for a reason and tells every player to never give up on any play because what happens in the first minute of a game sets a tone, or those 2 points are just as valuable as the 2 points at the end of the game. Obviously, when it's the end of a basketball game, there's a different crucible. There's a different level of intensity. But come on. I mean, let's be honest here. The ball did go off of Moretti's pinky. It did take about 2 minutes to determine that. And that gave the ball to Virginia. Up by 2. They get 2 more points on the trip down the floor. And that was a wrap as Texas Tech started taking shots that didn't fall. So I want to always, I'm never a guy, as you know, to complain about something and not offer a fix. The ball went off of Moretti's pinky. I believe it. I saw it. I don't want to stop the game for 2 minutes to get down to the 9th or 10th replay to find it. I want to move things along. It's just as important to keep things moving along as it is to get the call right. But I don't like the fact that we're using replay here, but we can't had it been 5 minutes before. In the same way, trying to be consistent, I don't like the fact that an offensive team in the NFL loses a ball because it's fumbled 1 inch beyond the pylon into the end zone as opposed to 1 inch in front of it. To me, it drives me nuts there, and it drives me nuts here that instant replay is used in this manner. So how about college basketball? You give 3 challenges to college basketball head coaches throughout the game prior to the booth being used automatically. Same things are reviewable. Same things are within the last 2 minutes is not. And we're using your challenges to stop the game. And if you're wrong, the other team gets to shoot a technical free throw, and that team can use anybody on the bench. If there's a 100% free throw shooter who's like the 10th guy on the team, that guy can come out and shoot it.
I like that.
That way we're getting it right. It's consistent, and there's a severe penalty if you get, well, it's a significant penalty if you get it wrong. Yeah, certainly if it's 3 minutes to go in the game.
Right.
And we gotta if the booth is buzzing down, then we should be able to let coaches make that call. Virginia has every reason to be celebrating right now. I said it yesterday's show. I'll say it again. To go from the first team ever as a 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, we may see that again. We may live to see again a 16 seed rule the day and shock a 1 seed. We'll never see that 1 seed lose to a 16 seed and win the championship the very next year. We're never going to see this again.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.